I don't know about you, but that looked like money.
Hey, what's up everybody? Another video here. This is Jeremy. Today's video is going to be my regular issue card collection of Dolphins Hall of Fame quarterback Bob Griese. I am a lifelong Dolphin fan. Bob Griese's kind of the first player I remember. I actually had a pair of Bob Griese glasses as a kid, which I still have. Crazy enough. They don't fit, but I still have those. Griese won a couple Super Bowls with the Dolphins. Went to 3, won 2. Outside of Dan Marino, Griese's probably the most highly regarded QB in Dolphins history. I'm hoping Tua Tagovailoa takes that mantle someday. We'll see. Anyway, we're going to start with Bob Griese's last card. It is the 1981 Topps. It's graded a PSA 9. This is one of Topps' ugliest sets ever made. It's also the set that contains the iconic Joe Montana rookie. But this card design's pretty ugly. I don't like it at all. But it's not the worst, in my opinion. The worst is the next card that I'm going to show you. And that is this monstrosity. 1980 Topps. This is, yeah, just flat out an ugly design. This is graded a PSA 8. I don't know what Topps is going for here. It kind of reminds me of 53 Bowman a little bit, but uglier. Bob Griese is kind of easy to collect. He's not expensive. If I were to equate him to like a vintage baseball player, you know, somebody like Jim Palmer comes to mind in terms of, you know, being a Hall of Fame player whose cards are, you know, you can go out and get them really, really, really cheap. Really cheap. Now this is one of my favorite Topps designs. And that is the 79 Topps. This is card number 440, graded a PSA 9. Shows Griese in those glasses that I had. You think I'm lying? They made Bob Griese glasses. I actually posted a picture of those on my Instagram if you're curious. But yeah, this is a really nice copy. 79 has centering issues for many cards. This one is pretty perfectly centered. The 79 set has rookie cards of Ozzie Newsome and is it Earl Campbell also in that set? Next up is this 78. Also graded a PSA 9, card number 120. Another cool looking set. I kind of like the All-Pro designation at the top of these cards. And there's Griese again with those stunning glasses. And yeah, PSA 9 copies of these cards are not wallet breakers at all. The population on them isn't very high, but even when they come up, the late 70s stuff's really cheap. Early 70s you start getting expensive, especially with the 71 and the 72 and the 73. And this card is actually sneaky tough to find in a 9. That's the 77 Topps. I love this design. This is most noted for Walter Payton's second year card, which is gorgeous. But this is nice. There's also a Mexican edition of this set, which prices of those have gotten pretty expensive. I don't own any personally, but it's something that I've thought about tinkering with, but I've got other irons in the fire in terms of what I'm collecting, so I'm not really focusing on that. But yeah, this is a 77 Topps Griese, also graded a 9. Nice clean back on these two. Yeah, 77 had really nice clean backs. Easy to read. All the stats. And some college information too. Really nice set. 77 Topps. Next up is, you guessed it, the 76. This is also a PSA 9, card number 255. 76 Topps, as you probably know, has the Walter Payton rookie card in the set, along with Randy White. And I think there's a couple others. Robert Brazil maybe is in it. But yeah, this is a Griese, well-centered. I don't know if... hopefully it still falls within PSA's new guidelines for centering. There's the back. Backs are... they're okay. I kind of like the 77s a little bit better than this, but that's alright. Still nice and clear. Alright, this one took me... oh, this isn't the one. Never mind. Scratch that. This is the 75 Topps Griese. Kind of a zoomed in portrait shot. Smiling pretty good. He's pretty happy. I don't know why, because they lost in the AFC Championship the previous year to the Raiders. So we shouldn't be happy at all. I'm still not. Anyway, card number 100. This is graded a PSA 9 as well. Really well centered card. Great color on this. Kind of a cool design, I think. Topps pretty much did it right in the 70s for their card designs. The 80s are a different story. 80 and 81 are just putrid bad. 82 is okay. 84 is really good. Anyway, getting off topic here. Next up, we're going to go with the 74. This one's graded a PSA 8, card number 200. Griese was doing something right because Topps was giving him the card numbers of 100 and 200, you know, the even numbers. This one, he looks kind of like he might have thrown a pick on the play before. I don't know, he looks kind of pissed off. It's funny, the back of these, this bottom thing, I don't know if you guys ever had it as a kid, but there was a handheld football game, probably back before Atari, definitely before Nintendo, that had this kind of shape on it, and the screen was inside of it, and that's how you played. That's what this always reminds me of. But nice, simple, clean backs, easy to read. Got a little cartoon up there, which I always love to see. 6'1", 180. Wow, he was kind of a tweener. Didn't realize that. Huh. Next up, tough card to find in high grade. In fact, most cards are tough to find in high grade, and when you do, they're expensive. This is my PSA 7 of the 73 Topps Griese. Pretty simple pose. He's kneeling on one knee, telling the photographer, let's get this over with. I got stuff to do. I believe some of these are found with like a print defect, I think along this side border. can't remember. I think it's this side. And this does have a couple fish eyes in the ribbon. Pretty common with 73 tops are those fish eyes in the ribbon and the border. Unfortunately, I've got that issue on this one. Doesn't really detract from the image, but it does annoy me a little bit. I must have gotten a good deal on this because I'm kind of picky with my cards, and that kind of annoys me a little bit. But whatever. I still have it. It's still nice. The backs of these are pretty cool. Nice big cartoon on the bottom. What is the record for most consecutive games a QB threw a TD pass? So that's Unitas. It was, anyway. I think that was broken by Griese, who will be a Hall of Famer next year. One of my favorite QBs of all time, Drew Griese. Next up, we have another tough card to find in high grade. I luckily have one. The 72 tops. No, I don't have the 72 tops All-Pro, which is a high number. I don't have that. I don't know how far I'm going to go into the Griese collection. There is a regional card of Griese's that I'd love to get. The 67 Royal Castle, I think is what it's called. I'd love to get that someday, but they are not the easiest thing to find. So I'm happy with just the base run right now. And 72 tops are nice. It's a good looking set. There's, this red color. It's different on different cards. Some of them are yellow. Some of them are, what's another color? I think like a green or a purple or something. Bob had a superb season in 71. Yes, he did. Nice looking cards. 72 tops. Big card in that set is the Roger Staubach. I guess I should be noting these as I go through them. But yeah, the Staubach rookie's pretty big in that set. Next up is the 71 tops brutal set. Mine's only a 6, but it looks pretty good for a PSA 6. This set is, if you've tried buying nice eye appeal cards of 71 tops, you know how challenging it is because of the borders and the corners. Just everything shows because of the colors. This one isn't too bad. All the corners have touches on them, albeit very slight, but they do. And 71 tops is got, I think, 7 Hall of Famers in the set that have rookie cards, including Terry Bradshaw and Mean Joe Green. Those are the two biggies. Very tough set. Very, very, very tough set. I just realized these are all PSAs. Here's the 1970 tops. Probably, this might be my least favorite tops design of the 70s. I don't know what it is, just not a fan. The Griese card looks pretty good. I kind of like the way this is all, everything's cropped on this, and the colors kind of the work, the green on the tan and the black, and looks pretty good. But overall, the set just doesn't really do it for me. It's kind of meh. But this is a well-centered 8. Looks really good. I love the backs. The problem with the backs, though, is, since they're orange, any sort of wear is going to show up on it. But this one looks pretty good. And the 70 top supers use the same back on the backs of those. It's kind of weird. It's almost like they took a copy of this and just slapped it on the back. The 70 Tops football set is known for, unfortunately or fortunately, the O.J. Simpson rookies in that set. And there's Alan Page is in there as well. And is it Lem Barney, I believe? Next up is one of my favorite cards of the 60s, designs anyway. This is a Jeremy special. It's a half grade. I love half grades. This is the 69 Topps Griese in a 7.5. Card number 161. Now with that solid fuchsia background, that color just pops. Looks really great. The only problem with backgrounds like that are, you get fish eyes. And you can see one right there, and right there, and right there. So 3 of them that really stand out. Oh, and one by his pinky. But overall, this is a nice looking card. 69 Topps is pretty tough because of those solid borders or solid backgrounds like that. And then the backs are a solid like dark gray black, so any sort of wear shows up, as you can see. Right. Trying to zoom in on it for you, but it's not working. Anyway, let's get back out. Oops. 69 Topps. The Larry Zonka's a pretty popular rookie card in that set, as are the Joe Namath and the John Unitas cards. Mainly because of the Super Bowl the year prior. I guess they aren't all PSA. I forgot this one is an SGC. This is one of the first cards I bought when I got into vintage football. And there's a spot on the case, unfortunately. That's kind of annoying. But this is his rookie, 68 Topps, number 196. I have mine in an SGC 7. As you can see, it's off center left to right, which I normally hate. But in this case, the corners are razor sharp. As I always say, if it's off center, the corners better cut butter. And these do. Well, I haven't tried cutting butter with them, but it looks like it would do a pretty good job. That's on the case, this little scratch, which will happen. This case is probably 25 years old at least, be my guess. It was graded a long time. But yeah, this is one of the first vintage football cards I bought. The first card I got was the 71 Terry Bradshaw rookie. I traded for it, but shortly after I bought this one at a pretty good price. Don't know if I'll upgrade it or not. I'm, mostly happy with it. It's not an expensive card by any means. Griese's never talked about as one of the, probably not even one of the top 20 QBs of all time. And that's mainly because he didn't have to throw a lot in Miami back then. It was all about defense and running the ball. When you've got Larry Zonka, Jim Kick, and Mercury Morris, you don't need a whole lot more than that. Now, he did have Paul Warfield to throw to, but it was all about running and defense back then. But yeah, Griese was a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer. Just not one of the what you would call elite quarterback Hall of Famers. And that's probably justifiable, you know, honestly. As much of a homer as I am about the Dolphins, I know that people love stats, and his stats just don't jump. But then again, most QBs from that era, the stats don't jump off the page. Just look at Terry Bradshaw's, for example. His stats are pretty crappy, actually, but the dude won Super Bowls, and that's what people care about. Right or wrong, that's kind of where we're at. So yeah, this is that was a look at my Bob Griese PC. Again, I don't have any regional stuff yet. You know, I think if I ever find the 67 Royal Castle Bob Griese, which is a pre-rookie card, if I ever get my hands on one of those, I might go all in and do the master set. But there's really no reason to go after the master set if I can't get, you know, the big one that would complete that set. So for now, I'm happy with the regular issue. Yeah, I think I'm working on a few other player runs right now, which I shouldn't have gotten into that habit. I've got like 5 different player runs going right now, if not more. And I just completed a big one this week, and I'll be doing a video on him. It won't be as long because there aren't as many cards, but it's a guy who has been to some title games, let's put it that way. If you've hung in this long, I appreciate it. You know, we're 22 minutes in. I appreciate the view. Look forward to hearing any comments or feedback that you have. This is, thanks for being patient with the video setup. I think I've got it dialed in. This looks pretty good from where I'm standing. Hopefully you guys feel the same. Anyway, another video will be out soon, hopefully in the next couple days. Until then, stay safe, and we'll talk soon. See ya.